We'll look here at some ideas of coordinate geometry. So if you've got two pairs of coordinates, you can do all of the basic calculations with those, including the distance between the 2 points, the midpoint, the halfway point between these 2 points, and the gradient. Okay. One good idea maybe when you're doing these sorts of questions is, if the points haven't already been drawn, is to try and visualize a little bit where they are position-wise, and that will help you to avoid making careless mistakes when you work these out. So if we imagine these points, then we can say that the point 3 minus 2 is 3 across in the x direction, 2 down in the y direction, so that's approximately here. And then the B point is negative 1 in the x direction, 6 in the y direction, so approximately up here. And that just helps to give me a vague sense of where these points should be positioned. So I can see, for example, that when I work out my gradient, it's going to be negative because this is sloping downhill, not uphill. I can see approximately where the midpoint might be, so it looks like I'll have positive x and y values, depending on how good I've done my scale here. So it just gives me a couple of useful approximations there. So let's work out the distance. The distance formula that you're going to use is based on Pythagoras' theorem. So it's the difference between the x coordinates, x2 minus x1 squared, plus, and then the difference between the y coordinates, which is y2 minus y1 squared. So if we substitute the numbers in here, we can basically think of the 3 as being x1, the minus 1 as being x2, and we can think of the minus 2 as being y1, and 6 as being y2. So 1 denotes first point, 2 denotes second point, x and y coordinate, first number x coordinate, second number y coordinate. Stick the numbers in, so we'll get minus 1, take away, and then the x1, so that's 3 squared, plus y2, so that's 6, take away y1, so take away negative 2, that means I'm actually going to be adding on the 2 afterwards, squared, equals the square root of negative 1 take away 3 is negative 4, so negative 4 squared, plus 6 take away negative 2, so that's 6 add 2, that's 8, 8 squared. Just move over to here, so what have I got? 16, so minus 4 squared, negative times negative is positive, so 16 add 8 squared is 64, so 16 add 64 is going to give me the square root of 80 for that one. Midpoints are worked out by the following formula: add the x coordinates together and divide by 2, add the y coordinates together and divide by 2. So 3 add negative 1, that's just 3 take away 1 divided by 2, and then y1 add y2, so minus 2 add 6 divided by 2. What does that give me? 3 take away 1 is 2, 2 divided by 2 is 1, minus 2 add 6 is 4, 4 divided by 2 is 2. For my midpoint, that seems to fit in approximately with the position that I might expect it to be in, 1, 2, that seems quite reasonable. And then gradient, remember we were expecting our gradient to be negative, so when we work out gradient, we often use the letter m to denote gradient, so I might say here the gradient going between the points A and B. If I've got lots of points, that makes it clear then what I'm actually working out. So the way you work out gradient is rise over run, which is change in y, so y2 minus y1 over change in x, x2 minus x1. So let's just do that. 6 take away negative 2 over minus 1 take away 3. 6 take away negative 2 means 6 add 2, that's 8. Minus 1 take away 3 is negative 4. And 8 divided by negative 4, positive divided by negative means a negative answer. 8 divided by 4 is 2. And like we said, we were expecting to have a negative gradient there as well.